Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor. Today we're back in Midsummer, Minas Tirith. The wedding is over, but the celebrations are just getting started, and that's what we are doing this episode. The entire Midsummer Festival quests that you can find in Minas Tirith, there are a couple of them found in other areas, but we're gonna focus today on these ones in Minas Tirith. So we need to get the wrapper, but now that we're here in the 7th circle, after attending to the wedding banquet, we can actually take some of the quests before getting the wrapper and optimize time.
Could I speak with you a moment?
We'll need to be very time efficient today. If you're planning to visit the houses of lore this day, I would appreciate some assistance. Here, take these arrangements and find good locations to liven the place up a bit, especially that room with all of the dead things. Why on Middle Earth anyone would want to be married in the same room as a troll is beyond my understanding. Okay. It's been a while since I read this text, and this one was very funny. Vintners from across the land have sent in shipments of wine to Meldis for the feast and planning. We cannot serve anything less than the finest, and each event has their own preferences based on the menu. Meldis' inn, the Wheel and Cask, was destroyed in the war, but she's moved up to the Splinted Shield. It is a much rougher place than her last establishment, but you look like you can handle yourself. Meldis has the various casks of wine stored in the kitchen. Go sample each vintage until you find the wine I require, then bring a barrel of it back here. The Wheel and Cask, was that on the first circle? I don't remember anymore. It's been so long.
Would you do something for me?
A perfect wedding can be the most memorable moment of a relationship. I ensure that for all of my events, that memory is a delightful and fun one. Only the best will do, which is why I have shipments of the finest supplies coming in from across the lands. Rare foods, exquisite skills, exotic flowers. My couples ask, and I deliver. Well, someone else was supposed to deliver my shipments, but they seem to be otherwise occupied. If you happen to find your way down to the 3rd circle, and if you happen to gather my tardy supply crates whilst there, I would appreciate it. You shall know which boxes are mine by their quality, of course. Wedding guests are a thirsty lot, and we shall serve nothing less than the city's finest ales at our events. I have put in orders with the best taverns in the city for barrels of their choicest ales. Go and fetch them, if you would. It would save me a great deal of time. Marilyn has also this lightning in a bottle quest. I have never done this. I know there are a couple deeds associated with it, but I have never bothered. You will basically get different quests to, well, locate fireflies of different colors across Middle Earth. It's more trouble than it's worth, in my opinion. But all the other quests are really fun, and you can see Marilyn is very full of herself. We already had the chance of talking to her already before, and we know she knows what she's doing, basically.
Would you do something for me?
Well, hello there, friend. You look like an important person. I wonder if you might be up for a small errand. I have samples of some traits I'm experimenting with. Would you be so kind as to deliver them around the city to some of our, shall we say, loftier citizens? I should guess that you would have an easier time of it than I, being all important as you are. There's no charge to them, of course. Do feel free to let them know whose creations these are, however, so that they might put in some orders for their festivities. Mayhap only tell those that, enjoy the samples, yes? Of course, you don't want bad publicity, I understand. And this is the last quest that we need to pick up on the 7th circle.
Oh?
So many events, so many flowers, so few moments. These arrangements need to be placed at various event sites around the city. If you could find places for them where our events will be, it would save me so much time. Yeah, I know a couple places.
May I help you with something?
Welcome, friend! I heard you shall be assisting us during the festivities. Glad I am to hear this. I sent my daughter down to the 1st circle to gather flowers, which I plan to weave into floral crowns. She is a good lass, but does tend to get distracted. If you find yourself down there, would you be so kind as to look for her? Alright, we have everything we needed here on the 2nd circle. Do we use our Citadel Guard steed? or do we use our steed of Gondor? Just for consistency's sake, seeing as how we just got this one, and it's a very nice looking one, let's use this steed, Kingly. Okay, that's a fine name. Not so hard to translate to Sindarin, if I remember my lessons correctly, so maybe I can get to it at some point. It will have something to do with the root Aran, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, doesn't seem so difficult. I'll need to double check how to do it, but that would be so great. We are gonna be riding the horse a lot once again for time efficiency. So now it's the time to pick up the wrapper that you will find on the first circle, and usually your day during the Midsummer festivities will begin here at the gate. I'm gonna explain you how I do this basically, so don't you worry. But let us pick the wrapper first.
All around you in Minas Tirith.
Welcome, friend. Have you come to join in our celebration of Midsummer? I should hope so. Although Minas Tirith endured many dark days, this new revelry has heartened the people of Gondor and the lands beyond. And not a moment too soon, I think. Between countless weddings, feasts, parties, and other activities, it is not difficult to find yourself in the spirit of Midsummer. For those who exemplify that spirit, and for those who find their way out of our taverns, I may just have some special gifts to hand out as a token of our appreciation. And one of those will be a treasury token, so it's very well worth it doing this.
There is dancing in the streets, and the wine flows like water.
Whether you join in the revelry here in Minas Tirith or in far-off lands, it is certain you will find yourself among merry company. We ask only that you celebrate in the spirit of Midsummer. And that will... well, that has given us the intro quest. We need to complete 3... There are 4 tiers to these: Intro, Intermediate, Advanced, and Final. Each one will require you to complete 3 days of quests. So 12 quests, 12 days in totals, and 10 quests per days. That equals 120 quests. So basically, you don't need to grind at all to complete the quests of Midsummer Meredith. What are you doing? That was so crazy. First time it has happened to me. So yeah, you don't need to grind to complete that deed. And get your Midsummer frame. That's really nice. Pardon me, do you have time to spare? Many have come to witness the celebrations and left their steeds in our care. These weary horses have seen much travel and need people to look after them. With how hectic things have been, we do not have enough stable hands. There are a few horses around the stable that need grooming, and others that deserve treats for good behavior. We would appreciate a help, if you do not mind, of course. There are crates at the back of the stables with equipment and apples. Alright, so here we begin. Midsummer Festival, all things considered, is really short when you learn how to navigate Minas Tirith, but learning how to navigate Minas Tirith this time also includes learning an optimal path for picking up quests, because you will get quests at every circle and you also need to complete quests at every circle. So the way I do this is I just pick up all the quests in what I think is the most efficient way possible, and then I start clearing them out. And we start here at the city stables. We feed the well-behaved horses, and here the disabled horses we groom. Really nice animation. Now you come through here to the middle entrance. There's another horse in this courtyard of sorts, and then you start making your way back to the main entrance, picking all the other horses, and that should get you right back to Loris in time to turn in the quest. The very last one is in here. Alright. Thank you, Beriathan. The horses look much happier already. I can breathe a sigh of relief knowing they are content. If you are able, please come back tomorrow. We may need more help then. I'll be sure to do so. I intend on completing all 12 days of Midsummer. Today is a special day, however, as I'm gonna do all quests available, but starting tomorrow when I'm not recording, I'm just gonna limit myself to 10 quests per day.
How may I help you, friend?
Our next stop is the stable master at the second circle. As we need to talk to Borlach of Raymond right here.
Have you come to join in the celebration?
The festivities have been rather exciting, haven't they? It's been months since I've been able to produce a single painting, but this visit to Minas Tirith has finally given me inspiration. Unfortunately, I can't put a brush to canvas until I obtain paint ingredients. The city is like a maze. I've already lost my way 6 times. If I go wandering off again, I may not find my way back. Perhaps we'll have better luck. I've asked for directions, well, 6 times before. Check out the Chief Kiriel for charcoal, a potter from the House of Craft for clay, and the gardener Levadar for flowers. The first 2 are on the 3rd circle, and Levadar is on the 2nd. And we're technically close, but there's one more quest we're gonna pick that's actually on the 3rd circle. Right next to the stable master as well. Yep, I'm just trying to do this once again as fast as I can. The Hall of Craft is right over here, and as fate has it, we also have the potter in here. Clay, you say? Well, sure, I can get you some. We got plenty. We got the clay. Usually there's also a box of wedding supplies next to this place. We'll grab that one too. And inside the House of Craft, we need to talk to the postmaster. Right over here.
Hello, friend. Could you help me with something?
Hello. I heard that you shall be assisting us. You haven't any idea how grateful I am. If you could spare the time, I am quite overwhelmed with letters that need to be delivered about the city. Excellent. I have a pleasant task here. A stack of thank you letters for the healers at the Houses of Healing. So yeah, we'll need to be going to the Houses of Healing to deliver the letters. Here we also have Melthend. She will give you 4 different quests related to different crafting professions. Basically, all she wants is for you to craft some items,
These are troublesome
and she will
times
exchange the items for tokens. Now, you can exchange the tokens for the items you need to craft what you need. And in fact, I might just grab these recipes for completionist sake. And you might be wondering what's the point of bartering tokens for the ingredients if then you craft to get tokens. And the answer is you can get the ingredients by completing quests in Breland, in Kelandim, in Thorin's Hall, and the Party Tree, if I'm not mistaken. But since we're limiting ourselves to what we can do inside the city, that's another set of quests we will not be doing for the time being. I might just barter for some ingredients if you want to see that, but
These are
I don't think that's
troublesome
worth it.
times indeed.
Our next stop now is the 6th circle, the High Stables. We actually don't need to complete the ride. We get down here. Now, if you don't have the quests on the 7th circle, this is the moment in which you go up, pick up the quests, and then you come back down and continue. And now we make our way down back to the 1st circle, doing everything on our path. Our first stop here is actually the Houses of Healing. Not to deliver the letters though, not yet. There is another quest that you can pick here with Yodith. Must I endure another midsummer? Oh, I suppose so. It seems some of my people have forgotten that the Houses of Healing are a place of rest. The High Hall is not some freshly stocked tavern. If you don't intend to join that rabble, why not make yourself useful by removing them and their filthy bottles from my hall? So, yeah, this is really not the place. Go away. The Reveler says nothing but departs with a sour look. Yeah, don't be selfish. Go and have your party someplace else. The sick and the injured need some rest. Something that I really enjoy about this quest is how you can find different kinds of drinks in here. Bottle of Galadin, Baron's Blood, let's see, Falas Draught. That adds a little bit to the immersion of this quest, as you're not just removing some unnamed beverage, but you get the idea of what the people of Gondor drink. I would love to know what's the taste of some of these drinks. Baron's Blood, for example, the Falas Draught. Sounds intriguing too. The Peanut Plum Wine. That sounds great too. But as you can see here, this is a very short quest line, a very short quest. Very straightforward actually to... Can you please pick the bottle? Yeah. Thank you. Traveler. Here we have another one. A bottle of Narwhal. And I wonder, is this some kind of drink related to the Mirror that Gandalf gets from Elrond? That he gives to the company after they brave Caradhras and the Gates of Moria? Is that similar to that one? That would be great. At last, I can hear myself think again. If I have no need of your aid on the morrow, it will be a joyous midsummer indeed. But you will, sadly, Yodit, so... Don't you worry, I'll be back. This is one of the shortest and easiest quests to do. So, when I'm only doing 10 quests per day, this is one that I make sure to complete. Nope, I always mistake the door. It's here. Houses of Healing, the House of Remedies, and inside this one we will deliver the thank you letters we were given. Finding the healers though can be quite tricky, as they
What can I do
do
for
not
you?
show on the minimaps, so you need to find their way on your own. A letter for me? A request for potions, no doubt. Why, this is no request at all, but a note of gratitude. Somehow my tasks seem to be a bit lighter now. Okay, let's jump.
Hail, friend, and well met.
Excuse me, I'm quite busy. A letter for me? Thank you. I shall read it when I find a moment. Yeah, you really should. It will not take you more than a few minutes, but I think you will like that one.
Greetings, friend.
A letter? For me? Why, how nice! I often do not hear from those I tend to. This just warms the heart.
What can I do for you?
What have you there? A letter of thanks from someone I tended? Oh, how lovely. Now, yeah. Usually the healers just wander around the two extremes of the hole, but they are still tricky to find at times. Yes, what ails you, friend? Why, this is... We do not do what we do to gather thanks, but thoughtful things such as these really do reinvigorate one. Glad to hear it. That was the purpose of this.
What can I do for you?
Are you a patient? Oh, for me? Ah, says here she is feeling much better. I knew that tonic would do the trick. Alright, I think we can count ourselves lucky this time. This was really one of the shortest rounds I have of letter delivering that I can remember. That's so nice. That was great. Alright, now we get back on a horse. As I was saying, we will start getting, making our way down to the lower circles. Now we have everything we need to be able to go from a straight path, take a straight path from the upper levels to the lower ones. completing all the quests we can alongside the way. So our first step will be here at the Thirsty Seer Tavern. This is a really quick stop. We just need to gather a barrel of ale. There's nothing else inside this place. We just grab it and leave. And this might seem straightforward enough, but the first few times I did this, I got confused. There are different holes, different passages you can take to reach that barrel, and somehow I always lost my way when I was doing that. Not anymore though, I already know the way good enough. Our next stop, the Houses of Lord. First thing we'll need to do is actually place these floral arrangements. I always found curious that we got two different floral arrangement quests. And at first I got confused, thinking that they were both the same quest. But they're not. One of those quests you can actually complete inside the Houses of Healing, and the other one you need to find different locations throughout the city, but well, that's not a big deal, actually. There are so many locations that you won't have any troubles.
Could you help me with something?
What? Sleep overtook me again? Oh, hello. I wonder if you've seen... Well, this is rather embarrassing. I have been collecting bits of poetry and romantic verse for inspiration. Yes, that's it. I need a poem to read for a performance at which my beloved, well, my eventual beloved, Lirberil, will be present. She loves poetry and attends the annual show here in Minas Tirith every year. I collected some of the best verses from the old masters of the craft, and was in the process of organizing them into the best love poem that has ever existed. Or I had been, that is. You see, I seem to have dozed off, during which time some door had opened a nearby window. All my hours of hard work, my years of longing, my very careful copying of the very best love poems. There is gathering inspiration. All of it, ruined by one nap. Say, have you a few moments to help me find those pages, friend? I could make it worth your while. How far could they have even gotten? I will sleep a mere, well, just to get started. Oh my thanks, my thanks. I will look around the desk here if you will search the rest of the library. Now, if you've done the anniversary celebration, you will know how to do this. Well, it's not difficult, but sometimes getting yourself in the right position to catch the verses, that's a pain. Over here. There are many different places where you can find these verses flying around. Come over here. What's actually fun is you can talk to Lirberil here.
Greetings, friend.
It's a bit stuffy in here, do you not agree? The young woman looks up towards where Caladan is with a smirk, then returns to reading her book. I actually remembered she had something else to say. Not as subtle, but maybe I was wrong. Bottom line, she is not really that excited about the idea of reading Caladan's poem, as you can see.
How can I be of service?
Were you able to find the verses? Ah, thank you, thank you. I must get back to compiling her, writing the words with which I will win Lirberil's love. Good luck with that. Who do we have here? Well, these are elves. Of course, that much is certain. And, if I'm not mistaken, you can find those same statues at Rivendell, so Gil-galad, Luthien, Not sure about the other one. Anyway, we're done with the Houses of Lore and with the 5th circle. So now we're gonna make our way back to the 4th circle. We do need to get, well, to pass through the need. Yeah, we do need to, well, I prefer actually to make my way down to the 4th circle on my own instead of using the stable masters. It's more practical that way, in my opinion, and you'll see why in just a while. Just a minute. As we will begin delivering the treats Lord known asked us to deliver. But some of those are not in the way of the stable master. If you take the swift travel, you'll need to backtrack slightly. It's not a big deal, but it's enough for me to actually prefer to come into the 4th circle on my own. But now, a sample? I ate but a few hours ago. Well, hobbits aren't the only ones who can double up on meals, eh? It's perfectly serviceable food, but nothing I should want to serve at my tables. Now, if it had bacon crumbles on top, yes, that would really help the flavor. That sounds nice. You see, here's the stable master. It's really not that big of a backtrack, but if I swift travel, I usually forget that first guy. So then I have to come back anyway. That's a pain.
How can I be of service?
Go away, shoo. I haven't any food for you. What? Oh, you wish for me to try your food. I am not in the habit of accepting food from random strangers, but come, give it here. Not bad. Needs a tad more salt. So, okay, it seems these treats still need some more work.
What do you need?
What's this? Free sample? Delicious. I would not change a thing except to perhaps, well, might I have another? Well, I'm glad you liked it. You can have another at the 7th circle. You know where to go.
Hello there.
Does it have nuts? I detest nuts. No nuts? Very well then, give it here. It needs for something. Nuts, perhaps? Oh well, make up your mind. What is it? I do not eat random things. Wait a moment, it does smell divine. Tastes as good as it smells. Alright, 2 out of 5. Not terrible, but it could have been better. Our next stop now is the Blue Theater. This one, it's gonna be really short as well, I hope.
Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
Once again, I must apologize for the delay. What delay, you ask? Are you not here for the Cloudy Hits? It is a dreadful name, I think, but they are fine enough musicians. They are scheduled to play soon, but I've no idea where they've gone. They haven't left the theater, but that is all I know. Would you find them for me and direct them backstage? So we will meet with the Cloudy Hits once again after helping them set up their show last time here in the Blue Theater. It seems they got distracted again. So let us remind them what a showman does. It's time already? The show must go on. Yes, please do. Here we can also find some of the floral arrangements for the other quest. Now, we've also been very lucky today. You usually don't find two of them so close to each other. They have a couple of set locations where they can be, and anytime a player interacts with them, they disappear and reappear a few moments later back on one of the locations they have determined. So yeah, we've been lucky with what we've found so far, but it seems our luck has run out. You see? Robo, back here. But we already did Robo. Backstage? Why? That could be anywhere in here. Yeah, but you still need to pay attention. Get ready for the show. It seems that you may be the one who is lost, friend. Well, if you're gonna be making fun of me, then you can find your way on your own. I'm missing 2 more members, 2 more cloudy heads, 1 dwarf, and 1 hobbit. But God help me if I know where they are. And this is the time where I start spamming delete plus F10. Oh, he's up there. Jeez. I'm looking for you. Are you just getting a sense for the acoustics again? We've already done that, I think. Acoustics here are okay. Oh. Here we go. Thank you. This theater is quite a bit larger than I remember. Yeah, it's been a while since we've been here, but I don't think you ever left.
Hello there.
Oh, thank you. I should have known better than to invite them to perform in the Blue Theater again. Much less for all of Midsummer. So yeah, you're gonna be in this predicament again. So, that raises the question, however. If the cloudy hits left, where did they go? When we were helping them find a place to perform, the siege of Minas Tirith was almost upon us. So where did they go? I mean, they didn't go anywhere until after the Battle of the Pelennor Fields, that much is certain, but afterwards, where? All of Gondor and Rohan was still at war, so where did they go? That's a very good question. Now that I think of it. Alright, now here in the third circle, we will find first of all Kiriel, the chef. Charcoal from my burnt wood? Whatever for? Oh, no matter. Here, take it. I don't need it anyway. And she will also give us another quest. Ah, you there! It appears you have some spare time on your hands. You've seen the guards hard at work around the city, yes? Despite the festival, they keep watch day and night. The war remains fresh on everyone's mind, I'm afraid. The guards are busy people with little time, but I want to help them find some enjoyment nevertheless. And food is the key to anyone's heart. I've just made a batch of small pastries and let them cool on that table over there. I'll need you to deliver them to any hungry-looking guards nearby. Quickly now, I don't want my pastries to get cold. Yeah, pass it over. I'll do it. And here in the third circle, we also need to continue picking up the wedding supplies as we look for the guards. Like you, for example. Many thanks. Could you pass that message on to the chef as well? Yeah, I guess I can. And supplies in here. Yeah, pick it up, please. Another one here. My favorite. If I had to do all of this work just to get a pastry from Citadel, then it was worth it. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Now, for this one, I'm not taking the horse, as the wedding supplies will dismount you when you try to pick them up. And now we just need to pick some things up here in the Mary's one. First of all, the last two floral arrangements are in here. Some people like to get these arrangements in the 6th circle, in the 4th circle. You really don't need to get out of your way to complete this quest. With the blue theater and the Mary's one, you have enough. You also need to pick the barrel of ale. That's it. Now, we are not picking wedding supplies anymore, so we can write once again. I would usually wait until the game finishes loading so that I can mount with animation and all. But since we are hard pressed for time today, I much rather do this as quick as I can. I'm also curious as well, see how fast I can do all of this. And well, now that I am recording and there's a timer, I can know for sure. It saddens me that I cannot join in the celebrations right now, but I appreciate the kind gesture. And the last guard, okay, is here. Thank you, I needed that. It's been a long day, but Kiriel's pastries always taste good. Well, I'm also a guard. I'm not on active duty right now, but I mean, if I could get some of those pastries my way, I wouldn't complain. I think we've earned a couple of those, at the very least a couple, right? You're back, and with an empty platter at that. You have my gratitude. I don't say that to just anyone. You've made quite a few people smile today. Come back tomorrow, there will always be mouths to feed. Yeah, allow me to doubt you don't say that to just about anyone, because evidence suggests that's actually quite the opposite. Of course it is. We're very well aware of that. If you ask me, they're also having fun. You could tell they were having a lot of fun creating this festival. I gotta admit, at first, when it was announced this was gonna be a new annual festival, and the consequences of moving the summer festival to a later date, merging the summit festival with the farmers fair, I was not sold on the idea. But I gotta say, I enjoy Midsummer way more than I did the old summer festival. As much as I enjoy Farmers Fair or Jewel Festival as well. Those two are my favorites. Maybe Harvest Month. Okay, here we have Levadar. Flowers? Oh, this is for that young painter, isn't it? I met him some days ago while he was exploring the city, but he hasn't returned since. Here you go. Please tell him I said hello.
Oh?
Levadar also has this quest. Have you ever seen anything like this before? I dare say this is the first time in all of my long years that my people have experienced such joy. Still, there is work to be done. Several gardens in Minas Tirith are under my responsibility, but I have been having a harder time tending to them. So many people around the city. My old legs can no longer carry me as well as they used to, but I do not wish to let my plants waste away. They have survived troubled times. If you could help me, The garden that holds the statue of Steward Egalmoth on the third circle requires attention. Weeds have sprung out of the earth and the bushes need watering. So we need to go back to the third circle to tend to the garden. You would also have noticed I have at long last upgraded my mouse. The clicks are not working funny. The mouse wheel is once again working as intended. I'm so glad. It makes a big difference when your gear, when you are not fighting against your gear. So yeah, I'm hoping this little guy here will serve me well for longer than my previous mice did. Especially the wheel. I don't know if that's me or if it was the quality of the other mice I bought in the past, but the wheels were always the first part to go wrong. And after a while I had to stop using the wheel because it wouldn't scroll. That was such a pain. So I hope this doesn't happen this time. I love the mouse wheel. One of the reasons mice are so cool. Not being able to use the mouse wheel. It's terrible. Go. And the last weed we need to pull out is this one over here. Pick it up. Thank you. Now back on the horse. Oh, that reminds me as well. Now, there's something else we forgot to do here at the third circle. I usually forget about this one. It's very easy to forget, but we actually need to go back to the House of Craft and tell the postmaster we have delivered the thank you notes. Thank God, this is right next to the stable master and the ramp to the second circle. Even if you forget, it's not a huge setback. Ah, thank you, my friend. Much better than delivering debt notice, is it not? If you have the time on the morrow, do come back. I shall have more letters to deliver. Of that you can be certain. Garliff, why can't I come with you inside a tavern or anything? Really? Please stop doing that. I want to take you with me, but if you are going to keep acting funny like that, you are not doing yourself any favors. Thank you for aiding a silly old man and his plans today, kind stranger. I think my people will appreciate the reminder that as long as nature continues to grow, good still exists in the world. Glad I was able to help you, Agadar. There is another quest in here with this worried woman. Not again. Stop! Thief! Oh, please, please, help me. That blasted cur. It loves to torment me. The wretched thing has run off with my engagement ring. Please, you must see if you can get it back. I am absolutely terrified of the creatures, and they know it. Which creatures? These dogs, of course. Come on, get it. No. Ah. Yeah, the hound has no ring. That's what I thought. These hounds are even worse than the letters, the anniversary letters and the verses in the Houses of Lore, for God's sake! Oh, finally. Found the ring. I truly don't know what's the trick for this quest. Fiber Jedi's guide, last time I checked, said that it usually is the dog that is walking the slowest, but in my experience that's never the case. So there's got to be something else. There's got to be a trick to this quest to identify which hound has the ring, but I have not discovered it yet.
Greetings, friend.
You found my ring. Oh, thank you, thank you. It sounds silly, but I feel like that dog thinks this is all very funny. And it's not, I get your pain. You only need to click on the hound. There is no induction bar, thank God. But even if you click a hound that has no ring, it will still have the ring marker over its head. So it's really difficult to track which hounds you have clicked and which ones you haven't. And they keep running all over the place. So if you are very unlucky, you can stay a long time looking for the friggin' ring. Thankfully, everything we've done today has been super fast. So I really appreciate that. We not having to run around hunting for things or fighting for items with other players. That also is a pain. Oh, Beriathan, this is perfect. I can finally get to work painting scenes of Minas Tirith with ingredients gathered from the city itself. I must say, I enjoy the idea. Thank you for your hard work. Once I'm done, I'll paint myself a map so that I'll never get lost here again. And there are a lot of players who would appreciate that as well. There are a lot of people who still get lost in Minas Tirith. It's understandable to an extent. The city is huge. And the issue here is not so much navigating the city. The ramps are on opposite streams of the city, but also remembering where to go for the quests, who to talk to. That can also be a pain. I gotta tell you, last year I did every single day of Midsummer. All the quests. I did a full run of the festival every single time. I was grinding the tokens for housing items, and I still got lost this year. I forgot half the things you could do, so this festival can still be confusing even if you have done this many times over. But the good thing is it's easy to remember. You just need a couple days to get back into the flow.
Hello, friend. Could you help me with something?
You there! You looked like you didn't spend last night with as much ale as some of us. Do me a favor and I'll make it worth your while. My name is Ulthir, greatest florist in all the land. I'm sure you've heard of me? No? Well, no accountant for taste, is there? By the by, wedding season is the most important time of year for a flower monger like myself. I labor for months growing, harvesting and transporting my renowned blossoms and arrangements from my farm to various cities. This week, I have the misfortune of being stuck in this moldering pile of rocks. My head. Where was I? Oh yes, I seem to have imbibed a bit more than I am accustomed to last evening. Don't look at me like that. Do you have any inkling how difficult it is to keep roses fresh from my farm to here? The stress nearly eats you alive. I have probably gone down an entire tunic size. So I might have had more than I should have to drink. What do you care? You're not my wife. Wait, you're not my wife, are you? The merchant squints up at you with bleary eyes. No, you aren't. Right, listen. You help me out and I'll make it worth your while. You hear that, ruckus? Someone in this tavern fancies themselves apart, but a croaking frog has more melody than that cacophony. Here, take these coins and toss them to whoever that dreadful squalling is coming from. I need at least 10 more hours of sleep, and they aren't helping in the slightest. We'll be tossing coins. The name of the quest and everything. You get to wonder if this is a reference to the Witcher series. It's hard to know, but I think the series had already come out by the time they did this festival, so it's very likely this is a very, well, a little but funny Easter egg. If a player tosses a coin, the minstrel, well, the bard will run off, but you have a short window of time to also toss your coin before it goes away. So, on that regard, you're good. Now, we will get a barrel of ale in here, and these are all the glasses of wine you need to taste to find the right cask. The induction is quite long, as you can see in here with Sophia, but if there is a trick to this quest as well. All the wrong glasses will always share the same position. This one, and this one is sort of a diagonal line, and these ones, which is sort of a T. Those are always the same, so the correct glass of wine will change positions every day. So in today's case is this one over here. Just need to wait for the induction to be over. It's quite a long one. Really long one, but okay. This dry white has a crisp taste with a hint of flint. This is the wine we were looking for. And we are missing just one more minstrel, which is right here. The good thing about this quest is the minstrels don't change location after you toss a coin to them. You just need to wait for them to respawn. So that's a good one. Alright, we have tossed the coin to our minstrels. Oh, City of Plenty. Now, let's turn in the quest. We're almost done.
What can I do for you?
Ah, my friend, do you hear that? Less silence. I'm stuck here all week. Why don't you come back tomorrow just in case? More ale happens. I'll sure to check back on you tomorrow, maybe. The strategy I have devised for this year I'm not interested in farming tokens. I just want to complete the quests as fast as I can for the Rapper and the Tracery token. So the way in which I'm doing this year is one day I will pick every single quest available, but I will stop after I have completed 10 of those quests. I mean, I will complete all the objectives, but I will only turn in 10 quests for the daily. So the next day I come back and I already have a bunch of quests ready to turn in, so that I only need to do a handful of them. So that way, one day you'll take about an hour doing the festival, and the next day just 5 minutes. Enjoyed that a lot. The last barrel of ale is here in the Mulmacan Keep. That's all we need to do in the second circle as far as I remember. Let me double check as we make our way back. To the first circle. Yeah, we're only missing one more quest. We still need to turn in all the other quests we can. It's not what I'm doing this year, but I just want to turn in all these quests to give you some closure on all of them. How anticlimactic would that be if I were to leave basically half of these quests unfinished just for a daily? No, that doesn't sit well with me. Tomorrow, that I will not be recording this, I will go with my usual strategy. But not today. Today it's worth it saying it all. And I gotta say, it's been way shorter than I expected. I had timed how much did it take me just doing the thing. And I expected that recording the episode and reading the text, that time would basically double. And of course, it takes more time when you are reading the quest, but not as much as I thought. Oh, hello! How have you come to play with us? You tell her of your mother's concerns. A young girl gasps with almost theatrical drama. Oh no, I totally forgot about the flowers. Will you help me gather them? It will go twice as quickly with you by my side. That is, if you have the time. Yeah, thankfully for you, I still have the time. So there we go. We're gonna be picking the flowers. It's already nighttime in Minas Tirith, so I wanna see if we can use our torch skill. I have barely used it since I got it last year. Ah, yeah, no, I can do that if I am carrying the torch. That's a shame. I really like the extra level of immersion you get with a torch. But the fact is, if you are using the torch, you become very limited in what you can do. And that's a shame. I had hope. I mean, it would be nice if we could get this sort of skills, and if they could be usable alongside other things. You can pick the flower with one hand and carry the torch with the other one. That would be so nice if we could do that. Alright, back to the florist's daughter. Now this one is something that I usually also forget to do. Not talking to the girl, but what comes after. So I usually find myself having to come back all the way down to the first circle just for this one quest. This really is the one quest I don't mind skipping. I was right! You found twice as much as me. You can use the blankets to put down your flowers. I know you have already done so much for me, however. If we weave this into crowns for Mother, it will make her smile so much. And maybe she will not be upset that I got distracted. Oh, and when you are done, could you tell her I am going to eat with Father for dinner? Thank you. So yeah, usually what I forget is weaving the crowns here in the blanket. Ugh. Coming back here from the 7th circle just to do that? No. That gives me PTSD. To be honest with you. Anyway. We are just gonna turn in the daily. Very good. I hope you are enjoying our festivities for Midsummer. As a small token of thanks for sharing in our celebration, allow me to offer you this gift. Join us again tomorrow, won't you? Of course I will. Right now, that's the daily.
These are troublesome times.
Technically, there's nothing else to do, but as I was saying, I want to turn in these quests, show you how they end, and seeing as how we're going back to the 7th circle, I also want to check out some of the rewards that you can get in Midsummer. There are a couple of new rewards this year that I want to get, and I also want to double check I'm not missing any other good items. Last year I got so many housing items, I don't think I need any more of those, but I still want to double check anyway.
What can I do for you?
Ah, you have returned. Tell me, what did they think? You shared the noble's opinions. This is all wonderful feedback. Give me some time to think it is over and I shall make the changes. Come back tomorrow and we shall try again. Ah, you're back. She got you to make them for her, didn't she? You gave her the message from her daughter. Huh. Dinner with her father? Well, that will save me some time tonight. Honestly, that child will do whatever she needs to in order to shirk her duties. At least she chose someone crafty for her chores. Yes, look marvelous, friend. Thank you for your help. Alright, now a couple more quests to turn in with Medallion in here.
What do you need?
Ah, you have returned flower-free. Lovely. I shall send my assistant around to check your work. Come back again later. I may have some other tasks for you.
What can I do for you?
Ah, excellent. This is going to be perfect, and my customers will be so happy. Good work.
How can I be?
Ah, excellent. Good work.
What do you need?
Ah, excellent. Good work. While I am not fond of the brew myself, it is always in high demand for my events. Alright, let us check the vendor really quick now.
How may I help you, friend?
74 tokens in one day, that's not bad really. That means we do need to keep bartering items before we hit the cap. Not a big fan of some of these outfits, and the outfits I liked I already have. All these, the grooms, boots, bracers, and the tunic. That's all well and good. Tom of the large Gondorian kite. If I'm not mistaken, this was a new item introduced this year, but I already have it because the very first Midsummer Festival in 2020 also came with special Hobbit presents, and I got the kite inside one of those presents. So that saves me some tokens. But let's see, Tom of the Gondor Midsummer Kite. That I will get. And I will also love to get all the Gondorian steeds available in here. Here we have fireworks. These are consumed unused. That's not the one I'm looking for. Coin toss, wine tasting emote. Okay. Golden wedding fireworks. This is a skill. That one I will take. These are all the housing items. I have almost all of these already. Don't need to worry about that. Essence reclamation scrolls, that would be good. We have Blackroot Steed, Lamedan Steed, Lebanon Steed, Losarnak Steed. 4 different steeds. And that is 20 tokens apiece, 80 tokens, so just one more day to get all the steeds I wanted. And what else? What else did I saw in here? I think that was it. I mean, all the other things are basically pets. Ah, the emotes. Yeah, I can also try and get the emotes. Why not? So, Gondor Midsummer Kite. There we go. And Golden Wedding Fireworks. There we go. Now, Gondor Midsummer Kite. I'm also gonna get in my pets a quick bar. I just want to compare them both. And I also want to take a look at these fireworks that you can get as a skill. We already saw them at the end of Arwen and Aragorn's wedding. You see there the wedding rings? That's so great. But now let me check these ones. The Gondor Midsummer Kite, as you can see here. A rhomboid, basically with the white tree. And now let us see the large Gondorian Kite. That's it. Ah, okay, there we go. Yeah, it's slightly bigger, but they are basically the same thing. Okay, that's it for today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. All the quests that you can do as part of the Midsummer Festival inside of Minas Tirith. There is actually one more thing we're missing, but that will require us to do many different days of questing to complete that one. So that warrants a different episode. That will be the very last episode of Midsummer. So join me next time as I show you the very last thing we have to do here in Minas Tirith. But for the time being, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.